Hey everyone, I'm back again, and sorry about the bit of a break between layouts. It's been a bit crazy. But I'm trying to make up by doing a mixed media layout. It's got lots of layers to the background, and hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know if you do. So I've just got my Dilution paints here, and I just put a bit on my mat next to it so I can pick it up with this card. So this is just a template to cut out 3x4 pieces of paper for Project Life cards. And I'm just using it as I would a gift card and whatnot. So I've scraped on some paint and just flicking on the rest of the paint so I'm not wasting it and giving it a bit of an added boost of a 3D texture and smushing some more and, using the end of the stamp kind of thing to make lines. Just having fun, just playing with it. So it's quite fun. So I've dried it a little bit in between and realised that the Xbox controller didn't need to be in your line of sight. And I've got out some mist sprays here. I've got some blue, some green and some yellow. Oh, there's a bright green one. And I just spray them. I spray, like I'm holding it close to the paper so that it's not so fine, that it's actually giving this big blob of colour. And that's the texture I'm looking for this time. And I don't wipe it off with paper towel. I'm blow dry it. Well, I guess it's kind of. I'm using my heat tool to dry it so that it isn't all mopped up by the paper towel first, so that the colour seeps in and sets so that it's got some brightness to it. So, what else am I? Yeah, so now I'm just smudging it up with the paper towel, getting off the excess. Oh, and you get to watch me. Oh no, you don't get to watch me dry it for some longer time. So this is some black mist, and I'm just flicking it on. And I thought it'd be nice to have some big drops, so I tried with my little the nozzle, the end of the nozzle, but I get out an eyedropper. I found these at my cheap shop the other week and I've been loving them. So instead of buying the inks, I figured if I buy eyedroppers and wash them out, which I didn't do for this one, of course, because that would mean I'd have to get up from my desk. But dropping them on using the colour mist or the colour spray or anything like that works really well. So there's lots and lots of colour, and just spreading out some more of the finer flicking on the ink splatters, so that way I can get the colour all over. So as you can see, there's some texture, there's some background layering, there's all sorts of things. So bringing out the mist again, and it mixes in with those ink light blobs, which is really cool. As you can see, it sort of spreads along the page. And that one was getting a bit too wet, so I've sopped it up. But I've left the rest in this one. I'm just getting, the excess out so that it still stays with the big colours. And look at that, that's so pretty. People have asked before in the past, and maybe you've been wondering, I'm not too sure, but I don't actually gesso my cardstock before I do anything with it. I just figure it's an extra layer, extra process that I have to do, and I just don't muck around. It's hard enough for me to make sure I dry my layers before I do some more layers. I'm just so eager to just get it done. Watch that, look at it move. So cool. It's like, back in the day when you use a straw to blow your colours of paint across the paper. So yes, as I was saying, I don't gesso my paper and the cardstock. I just try not to make it so wet that it's stopping wet. But if it does, it dries and it might be a bit buckled, but you can flatten it again, or you can add cardstock to the back, whatever. You can, I just don't think it's worth the effort. But I also tried a few times of gessoing, back when I first started. I tried gessoing and the colour's not the same, and it just leaves this weird texture that I didn't like. So not only did I feel that it was adding extra time to doing things and then it'd be a barrier for my creativity, it also just wasn't giving me something I liked. Anyway, I've just spoken all over that process. You could obviously see I was using modelling paste and a stencil. That stencil's from Kaisercraft or Kaisercraft. Oh, looking at that now, I should have kept that black layout. Look, I like that border. That looks so pretty. Maybe I'll go back and fix it if I can, because it looks nice. Isn't that funny how you, at the time, it's like, nah, I don't like that. But afterwards, like, oh, that actually would have given it really good, draw the eye in, because it was not just seeping off the page. Not that it looks heaps bad without it, but I don't know, whatever. Anyway, picked out these stickers because I thought they'd be really nice. And finally you get to see my photo, and it's a piece of memorabilia. So that's actually some fish and chips that we brought up in Brisbane when we were on holidays, and the big Morgan's with the fish is from the paper bag that the food came in. So Morgan's is a lovely fish and chip shop. It's quite, I don't know, it's a higher end kind of thing, and they get their fish at the the water behind them, the ocean, or I'm really selling it well. Anyway, if you go to Brisbane and you're up the Redcliffe Way, go check it out because it's delicious. So I thought I kept that bag because one, it didn't have any food or anything on it, and I knew it would be safe to keep. So I've stuck it on and stuck a photo, and look, no pattern paper. As you can see, it really stands out on the background, so I'm using my paint and my finger, use some black acrylic paint to sort of like blend it in, so to make it not stick off as a layer, making it part of the background. So just using a wipe here because it's wet and it'll make the paint move a bit more than just a dry paper towel. And I'm just doing whatever I feel like doing. No really thought to it. What am I doing? Oh, so I put some black paint here on the side. I don't know why that wasn't in the shot. I've obviously got my layout over to the left too far. And I've just added some water to thin it out so that I can do some more splatters with it. But they're thicker than the colour spray splatters, so it's really nice to water down your acrylic paint to do it. It gives a different texture. So just using my palette knife, and look at that, that was pretty. And then look what I do. Oh, that's not pretty anymore. So use my wipe off the excess. You can tell that I've done that, so I put on some blue, and here I am, I get a clean wipe and fix it up. And then some spray. See, you can fix any problem that you conceive as a problem. So, and I'm just trying to think about if there's anything I can do to embellish the layout, maybe a tag at the top, but that doesn't say. This little tab here, that's just the stamp that I stamped early in my scrapbooking career, in my scrapbooking creativity career, I guess, and a star, so on they go. You know, the motto, don't think about it too hard, just stick it and move along. Get out my stickers. And so my title is going to be Morgan's for Dinner, because it was for dinner, and it was delicious. One of the things, because I live in Canberra, so one of the things that's hard to find is scallops. I can't find scallops at our fish and chip shop. Crumb scallops, and these ones were amazingly so fresh and delicious. They just like melted in the mouth. And I had to share with my father so that he could have some as well because they're one of his favourites too. And I was so disappointed. I just wanted more and more and more. That was a bit funny, a bit random, not even really anything to do with the layout, but now you know it. So just wiping off any paint that I've got on the layout, on the photo. On the layout, wow, that would take a long time to wipe all that paint off. Anyway, on the photo is what I meant. Because I've printed it on my selfie, it's easy to wipe it off without smudging the photo or anything like that. So, totally cool, and so worth it when you're doing this kind of a layout that you don't have to worry about messing up your photo. And you can see that I've used the paint to smudge in those stickers so that they blend in as well. Do some more because I thought it needed a bit of yellow to pop. And pretty much I've finished this layout now, so I've got some photos to show you some close-ups. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. And, like, subscribe, or ask a question or a comment. It'd be great. Thanks. Bye.